Hey guys, welcome to another video tutorial. In our previous video, we have created this awesome website from Figma to Elementor, but we didn't complete our responsive design. So in this video, I will complete the responsive design and will show you every single change step by step using Elementor. After completing this video tutorial, you will have a solid understanding regarding how Elementor responsive view works and how you can customize your website for different devices. Let's say you want to display your website on tab perfectly, then you can do it. You want to display on vertical, horizontal layout on tab or mobile devices, you can configure them perfectly using Elementor Editor. Suppose you didn't complete or watch the previous tutorial on how to convert a design from Figma to Elementor using Astra theme, then I highly recommend you to complete this one first. If you want to start completing this tutorial, then you will have a link into the descriptions or somewhere else on the eye icon here. So let me introduce myself. I am Riyad and I create WordPress tutorial for beginners. And if you are new to this channel and if you see this channel is helpful for you, then please hit the subscribe button and press the bell notification icon so that when I upload any new video in this channel, you will get notified. So without further any delay, let's jump into my computer. Now, as you can see, currently I'm inside my editor and here you can see my screen as well. And we have completed this design without making it responsive for mobile devices or tab. Now, if I take a look at here and closely, first of all, if I just inspect or I can simply right click here and inspect and then click on the toggle device toolbar and let's drag it a little bit here, and here you can see a couple of device resolution sizes on the browser. So you can change the dimensions from here. There are lots of available dimensions or the devices. You can also edit them, you can also change them based on your preference. So if I click on edit here, so this is basically for browser settings and it's not related to the website, it's inside your browser, and you can choose any device that you would like to display there. So currently I have selected iPhone SE, XR, 12 Pro, Pixel 5, and there are a couple of other devices that I have selected here. And by default there should be selected a couple of devices, but if you want, in case you want to change them or you want to add them, then you can add from here. Let's say I would like to add iPad Pro, iPad, and also I would like to add okay, let's add not this one. So that's all. Nokia, not Nokia, it's a Galaxy S9 Plus, S8, and that's it. So now if I want to add any custom device, then I can click on custom, I can select device name, I can choose the device resolution as well. So make sure you have if you have any specific requirements for screen resolution or devices from your client or your project that you are using or working right now, then make sure you have added them from here. It will save your time later on. Now I'm going to close this one as of now. And if I just drag it to the bottom again and click over here, here you can see I have added the Galaxy S8, S9 Plus and SE. So I have added iPad Pro also. Now if I select the iPad Pro, as you can see the resolution is changed and it selected the iPad Pro and the resolution is 1028 into 1366. So basically here you can see it looks perfect on the iPad Pro and we do not have to change anything here. So it looks great, right? And the thing is that I have to start working from mobile devices. Later on it will be displaying perfectly on every single device. So without further any delay, let's go to the Elementor Editor and let's configure them first from the Elementor Editor. By default, Elementor has two options. The first one is tab and the second one is mobile devices. So let's configure them first from Elementor, then later on we will test it how it works. So I'm going to click on edit with Elementor. Now currently I'm inside the Elementor Editor. So first of all, I'd like to close the navigator from here and then click here. You can see the responsive mode. I'm going to click on the responsive mode and then I'm going to click on tab version. So if you take a look at closely, there is some other options. There is some width features, height, and you can change them later on. Now I'm going to click on the tab here, and when I select tab here, you can see the width is 768 and 700. You can change the width later on, or you can change the width right now. Let's change, you want to configure it for 800 pixel, and now as you can see it's displaying 800 here, 868 pixel. So let's go back to the 768 because 768 is the standard size, and first we would like to continue with the standard size that Elementor recommends, and later on we'll test it one by one and see if is there any improvement or if is there any other changes that we have to take a look at inside the editor. Let's take a look at here first, and if I take a look at here closely, most of cases it's almost working perfectly here, but now there are a couple of things that we have to adjust a little bit on the tab version. So if I close this one, as you can see the hero area looks way much bigger as actually it should be, but we can customize, we can reduce the hero area height first. Go to the section and then go to height. So here you can see the minimum height is 773 pixel. Now for the tab, as you can see our tab screen height is 700, so at least we should make it visible when any visitor land in our website using tab. We should make it visible the hero information first screen as well, at least first screen. Now it looks much better, and change the button position here. Let's change it, and well, I'm going to change, let's remove the margin from here first. So let's make it 0 and left. So we can add a little bit margin here. We cannot add or increase the margin. So as you can see, when I add margin here, there is little margin here. I think it looks perfect as of now. And we have to move this position of this icon here. So click over here, then go to style or settings, change the offset position, and now it looks better than the previous one. And make sure you have configured the typography for heading or any other paragraph from global settings. So currently I'm using the Astra settings or Astra theme global settings, and by default if you take a look at here, the heading is H1, and if I go to style, I didn't customize the typography from here, but by default it's changed its own size from desktop to tab when I navigate to the tab version. Now let's update, and let's see if I go to our customize, let's see what size or if is there any size or percentage the Astra theme is using here. Let's go to global and typography. If I take a look at heading font size, so currently it's 60 pixel for tab desktop version, but when I navigate to the tab, here you can see it's changed its font size automatically, right? And we do not have to mention it here, but in case if you want to mention the font size, you can always mention here, and you can always add the size here. Let's say 20 pixels. So when I add 20 pixel for H1, it will apply globally on every single page where you used H1, and this is how it works. It's very useful feature. And I'm not going to use this one as of now. I'm going to close this one here. Now if I scroll down, I can also change the column size here as well. Let's take a look at here how it looks. It looks perfect, but I have to reduce some padding. Let's take a look. Go to sections and go to advanced, and here you can see some padding bottom, and I can reduce the padding easily from here. Let's reduce. So the padding top should be 120. Let's close this one again. 120, and it was 120. I'd like to reduce 110, and then 60 pixel at the bottom. Now if you take a look at here, it's visible, so our tab version looks perfect. Right, now let's take a look at our other sections, and if I scroll down here, you can see the other section, it looks perfect here. And okay, now for this section, what we can do, we can reduce the left side padding so that it reduce some space and makes it perfect, looks perfect here. Now if I go to advanced, and here you can see we have added left 80 pixel. Now let's reduce from 80 to 0, and as you can see, it looks standard and it looks much better, right? And there is no need to use huge spacing between the column here, and that's why I just reduced the spacing here. Now let's click on this icon, go to advanced, change the position, and offset should be here. So now we have completed this section easily. Now let's go back to our next section and follow the same process here. Advanced. So make sure I have selected the column here, and you do also, because sometimes you might distract where I'm selecting, but if you take a look closely, hopefully you will understand. Let's make it 0 and go to the icon here, advanced. Let's reduce the offset, and change the offset from here, which is vertical. I can change the offset horizontal here as well. And now click on update, scroll down here. As you can see, it looks perfect. There is no need to reduce margin or padding here, but there is one thing to make the alignment perfectly. I can reduce the font size from here. Let's go to style, and this font size is working from Elementor, and that's why it didn't change its style like the H1 on the hero area. So currently, if you take a look at here, I have configured the font size from typography options inside Elementor. So make sure if you configured any font or any typography from Elementor, it will not going to work from extra customizer global settings. Now let's click on the typography and reduce the size here to make the sections perfect. Okay, so it doesn't work as expected. What we can do, we can add some margin or we can add some padding here to make it perfect, or make it align perfect. So let's add some padding, 30 pixel, or padding top 20, bottom 20. Okay, I just added some unnecessary paddings here. Let's add 100. So if you take a look at here, I just changed the padding right now, and to make the alignment perfect. So as you can see, it much better now. And if I go to our typography again, then change the typography here, and see, it now looks perfect and it aligned perfectly here. And we can adjust a little bit inside the settings, advanced, and then we can adjust little bit padding here as well. Okay, now we have just completed our excellent feature section, which is basically called feature section. And if you notice, or if you think this space is much bigger than the as usual section space, then you can reduce them from here as well. But I'm not going to reduce them. I'd like to keep it similar or same as of now inside the tab version. Let's navigate to our next version here, or next section. Now let's move into this section here. So here, as you can see, I have to change the margin and padding and the position here. Let's add some margin. Top 30 pixel or 35 pixel, and I can add some margin here as well. So that it looks similar. And let's reduce some margin from here as well. Then click on this one, go to advanced, add some margin here, unlink first, add 30 pixel. Okay, now let's click on the third one and then go to style or advanced, and 0, let's add margin 25 pixel. Or 20 pixel is perfect. Now we have added the margin and it looks much better than the previous one. Let's move into the next section here. So as you can see, this section also looks perfect. This one, there is a little adjustment if you take a look at closely the padding here. So currently we are using image, and the image takes its own space and we cannot reduce the padding from the image. So we have to use this one as of now, and if you want to change it, then you have to re-upload that image, reduce the image padding or image white space. So take a look at here on this section. So there is a couple of spacing issue here, because if you take a look at here closely, okay, we can keep this one like this way, or we can adjust the margin here as well. Let's adjust 10 and 10. So it's completely up to you and your client or the designer that you're working with. So there is no required, or there is no must-have rules to follow responsive design. It's completely up to you. So you can do whatever you want. Let's reduce some section padding here as well. So I'd like to use 70 and bottom 70. Not so much padding here. Okay, let's increase to 80 pixel. And now for the next section, it looks perfect. There is no need to change anything else here. And this one is also looks great. So what we can do for this section, we can change the position here. Let's go back. Well, we can change this section margin and go. First I have selected the section here and see if is there any margin or not, but there is no margin inside this section. If I go to inner section or column or inner section, see there is some padding. Okay, so I can add padding 60 pixel. So we can reduce some padding, we can reduce some margin here as well. Let's take a look at here. Go to section. Okay, there is margin which is hidden. And now let's change the mobile image here. Go to advanced, change the position. So now as you can see, it looks perfect. Looks great now. So we just complete our tab version here, and now I'm going to move into the mobile devices, and after that we'll take a look if is there any changes required, or if it's, let's click on update and then click on the mobile device here and take a look at here from the hero area. Now currently I'm inside the hero area. If I close the hero area, it looks like this. And what we can do for mobile devices, we can reduce the padding for the button here, because I do not want to display them after one by one. So I'd like to reduce the padding as well for this one. Go to content, style, and padding should be 10. So now as you can see, it looks perfect, and let's add some margin on the left, 10 pixel. Close this one, and I think this it's enough for the icon here. And the one thing that you can do, if you take a look at here closely, here you can see there is an image at the bottom on this column, and we can change the position here as well. Now let's click on, so first of all, let's click on this inner column area, and then if I go to style or settings, and here you can see responsive view. So for an example, for mobile devices, I would like to display this image at the top and the content later on. What we can do, we can reverse the column on tab and mobile devices. So let's reverse the column on mobile device here. When I reverse the column here, you can see the top is displaying image, and the other later it's displaying the content area. So you can change it in this way, and I hope you understand. You can change the font size a little bit from style. Let's change it to 14 pixel, and I would like to increase the button size to 15 padding, and this one should be 15 pixel. Let's change it to 15. Now it looks much better. So we have completed our hero area for mobile devices. Now there is one thing that I have to change its position, which is this arrow icon. Let's select the arrow icon from here and change the offset and change its position here. So I think this one looks perfect. There is no need to change it as of now. And if I click on update and then scroll down here, you can see the other section, which looks perfect as of now. This section looks great, and just need to rearrange the arrow icon here. Let's change its position. Well, I think it's perfect now. So we can change the view as well. Let's flip, if is there any options to flip here. Let's flip this one. So there should be options. Yes, there is options for transform, rotate, and we can flip horizontal from here. And now as you can see, we just flip the icon here to point out the exact button area, and it looks much better, right? So now if you take a look at here, this section is done, and let's move into the next section. When I'm moving into the next section here, you can see there is a little issue. I would like to display, this section looks perfect, but when I scroll down here, you can see the image is at the bottom. So I would like to display the image at the top, and then the content. What we can do, we can simply select this section here, and then go to our advanced responsive and simply reverse column. Now when I select reverse column, it looks perfect now. And go to the arrow icon again, change the arrow icon position. Now we are done on this section, and let's scroll down to see it looks perfect. This one looks great. Just need to work on this section. So what we can do for this section, we can hide all those items from here because it's not necessary, it's not important to visible them or make them visible for mobile devices. Let's take a look at here. So we can select the heading from here and go to advanced, then go to responsive and hide on mobile devices, and select the same divider, responsive, hide on mobile devices, and follow the same from here. It's the same process, hide on mobile devices, and then go to divider, responsive, hide on mobile. And the last one is also I have to hide this one and close. Now as you can see, we have hidden all of them and it's displaying very simple layout, and I really like this layout as of now. There is one thing, if I select the heading here, go to advanced, there is a margin bottom. I would like to reduce the margin bottom or make it 0. Now it looks great. So now let's move into the next section here. So I have to work on the margin in this section. If I select the column or inner column here, as you can see there is margin on the left and right, but there is no margin at the bottom area. So I'd like to add bottom 10 pixel, or I can add 10 pixel on every single page or every single sizes. But right now I'd like to add 10 pixel left, right and bottom, not top, and the same 10 pixel right, left and bottom, and follow the same here. And now we are done with this section. It's complete now. So there is little adjustment. If you take a look at here, this section is not displaying correctly. There needs some margin here as well. If I select this one here, there I have added 1, so I should add 10. Now it looks perfect. Scroll down and the toggle is working here perfectly. So there is some spacing that I have to reduce, some unnecessary space in the bottom area. So I should add 80 pixel because we have added 80 pixel. And now if we scroll down here, you can see our last section. Okay, what we can do, we can flip first. We can to make it beautiful, we can simply choose the column or inner column, then go to responsive, and here you can see reverse column. After that we can change its position here. Let's add some margin, and then change the image here. We can change it more if we want, so that's why we have to add some margin as well. Let's add margin top 200, 300, and see if 300 is working. It's working correctly. And we can change the image width as well. So it's 100%. We can keep it similar right as of now. And here you can see the content area. Let's add the content area. Let's go to the advanced, or go to here, go to advanced, and padding should be 0. I'm not sure why it looks 0, but it doesn't work. Go to padding and change the padding or margin. I think we have added it here, padding. Let's make it 0. It's not working. And the inner column, yes, here is the padding. Let's change it to 30, and the top should be 130 or 60. Add some margin top and also padding here as well. Okay, it's not working as expected. Margin here, add some margin as well. Yes, it's working. And let's add some margin here and let's make it beautiful. Now we have completed this section as well, and we have to work on footer. I think footer looks great, and we can change it using some custom CSS code as well. And let's take a look at our website from our browser. Now if you take a look at here closely, it's on desktop and it looks perfect here. Inspect, right click on your browser and inspect here. Choose any layout. Let's for an example, let's take a look at here on Galaxy. Now this one is Surface 2. So it looks great. So basically, in most cases, you have to use on. Okay, somehow this one is not working as expected. I'm not sure. I have to reload the page again. Let's take a look at here. Well, there is some interesting things that is appearing here. The white sidebar or right side, as you can see, it's a white blank area. So why this happening? Okay, so there are a couple of reasons that it's not working as expected. What you can do as a solutions, there is an options you have to find out. So in most cases, this kind of white label appearing or sidebar, which is not a sidebar exactly, but white space appearing due to when you're using a positioning inside your design. So due to this arrow image, it might be an issue, it might be cause this issue. So what we can do, we can simply hide on responsive devices and see whether it's fixing or not. Go to all arrow image and selected all of them from here, because here we are using positioning. So when we are using positioning, it's a change its position. Now I'm going to hide and confirm that it happening due to this positioning placement here. Let's take a look at here if is there any. Okay, not here. Now go to our design again and reload here. Change the mobile view and reload here and see how it works. So now as you can see, it's working perfectly and there is no white bar at the right side. So in that case, I hope you understand, if you have any client or if you have any issue with the white bar on the left or right side, so there might be some issue or cases that the user is using positioning anywhere inside his element. Okay, now it's time to make our footer responsive. So we just complete our default recommendation or screen size from Elementor, and we just make it responsive for mobile and tab devices. Now if you take a look at our design, there is a little adjustment needs at the bottom footer area, and when we complete our footer area, we are done with the responsive design. So let's go to our customize and see what we can do inside our footer area. So first of all, I have to navigate to the appearance, then customize, and I'm going to open a new tab here. And now if I click on footer builder, it will take us to the footer builder area. Now when I click on the tab version from here, scroll down and see inside the tab version there needs some padding on the left side inside the footer area. Let's click on here and go to design. So this is basically called gear icon. Now if I go to design, here you can see the padding options. Let's add some padding left. First of all, if you do not want to add padding all over the side, left, right, top and bottom, then make sure you unlink from here and only add some padding left 20 pixel and at the right or right 20 pixel. So I think the right is not necessary as of now. It's working perfectly here. Now if I take a look at the second row, click on the gear icon and then click on design, and here you can see the padding as well. I'd like to add some padding on the left side here, 20 pixel. Now as you can see, it looks perfect. When I navigate to the mobile device, it looks better now. So there is need little adjustment inside the padding area, inside the widget here. So what we can do, we can add padding as well on the right side. So currently I'm selecting this one and go to padding, unlink here, and on the right side add some padding 20 pixel. Now it looks much better, and the icon here currently it's displaying, it should display at the center. If I click on the gear icon on the above, and if I click inline here, it looks like this. If I click stack, it's also looks similar. Let's vertical alignment, it's not necessary here as of now. And what we can do, we can change the alignment if possible from the widget area. Let's click over here, change it to center. It doesn't work as expected here, I'm not sure. Let's margin 0, add some minus margin to make it center. Now it looks center and looks perfect here. So we have completed our footer area as well, and the only thing that we have to work on the subscribe button. And what we can do, we can click over here, or we can simply navigate to the styler WP form, and inside the form here you can see the submit button. We can change the alignment to center, and currently the alignment will be applicable for every single device, right? It's not only applicable for the device that I'm using right now, which is the mobile device. So as of now we can make it left, or we can use custom code, but I think the left, it also looks good. It doesn't look bad at all. So we have completed the mobile device or mobile responsive as well. So now we have completed our responsive device, mobile devices, header and footer using the Astra customizer settings. And there are a couple of things that we can have a look and see if it's required to change those things here or not. To do so, we have to run some test. We have to do some test here. You can use using your real devices, or you can use your browser as well. So in my experience, previous experience, what I can see, what I can suggest you can simply go to the dimension and you can choose common devices that most people are using right now. So if I select iPhone 12 Pro, it will look perfect here, and as you can see, it looks perfect. So if I choose any other devices from Apple, Let's take a look at iPhone XR. It also looks similar. So if you want to stay a safe line, with a safe line, what you can do, you can simply take a look at here closely. There are 3 dimensions for mobile, which is the first one is mobile small, and if your website looks perfect on mobile small, then you are good to go, you can continue. But if it doesn't look great here, then there might need some changes. Then if I take a look and hover over here, you can see the mobile M, which is medium. It looks perfect. I know that it looks great here. And when I select a mobile L devices, it also looks great here. Now select tablet, and if the tablet version is working perfectly here, and if it looks great, then in most cases it will also looks perfect on any other tablet devices. And then let's choose a large or the laptop or a larger devices here. It's not a laptop yet, it's a tab device as well. Now let's click on larger laptop here. It looks perfect. So we have completed our responsive design class, or I would say tutorial, using Astra and Elementor. And hopefully after watching this video you will have a solid understanding regarding the responsive design and how to make changes in certain devices using Elementor. And also there are custom value, there are some custom dimensions that you can apply and play around with that. But I hope you understand how to change them and how to apply them as well. If you have any suggestions, or if you want to know any more specific information, or if you have any suggestion for any tutorial, then please comments below. And if you stuck anywhere else, then you can also join my Facebook group, where many experts are available, and hopefully they will help you with that issue. Thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day. Bye.